Over the years, there's been an age-long tradition of the Igbo tribe over the rights of entitlement, which does not benefit the female child to inherit her father's property after his demise. However, we want to look at the impact of another Supreme Court judgment that is now upholding the rights of the female child to be able to inherit properties of her father. We met a few years ago, I think about 2014, we had the first Supreme Court ruling. Now another court again has upheld that ruling, now making sure that an Igbo girl can actually inherit from her father. Now, we have traditional rulers who have come up to say, you cannot question tradition. They understand that you want to have, you're emancipated now. However, there's a thin line between what is legal and what is culturally acceptable or customary to a people. So where do we draw that line? Let me start with the ladies. Let me start with BC because
I'm a Igbo girl.
Yeah, yes. So that is your people. So what's going on? What in your view, when you heard about this ruling and the back and forth that is going on around it, what are your thoughts on this?
I was excited because over the years we've law and custom has actually treated the female child as a temporary child, meaning that you're seen as inferior. You're seen like you're just there for a time. You are definitely going to be married out and you no longer belong to us. And that's how the treatment has been. And you see some excuses that after all, by the time the female child gets married and to a man, you can't be, collecting from your husband and collecting from your father's inheritance, meaning you are eating from two hands. And that's what some of the traditional rulers and leaders have been saying for a long time now. But you're forgetting the fact that every child is equal. Or we are advocating that every child, whether male or female, should be treated equally. And then you disenfranchise these female, they are disenfranchised in their husband's house, because if anything happens, even in that culture, you find reasons why they want to send you out, why they want to transfer the properties to your husband's brothers and all of that, and then they disenfranchise you, and then in your own father's house again. He dies and then you get nothing.
Should me have inherited from my father. Nobody can come and tell me that because I'm a woman. Hey!
It may be open now.
Whoa!
Okay, well, leave that one. If you're in the Southeast, you can't do nothing.
You see? Is it fair?
But that is, you see, the reason this case went to court was because the woman felt it was unfair.
Right.
So she took it to court. Now, you don't give the biological child of the man, but the wife of the brother will now come and enjoy the largesse. Is that fair?
For it,
yeah, change is normal. Change has to happen. But I also understand the importance of culture. However, the truth about culture is that it is not all things that are culturally upheld that is good. A lot of our cultures are bad. We have a culture of female genital mutilation. We had a culture of killing twins. We had a culture of killing albinos. So we can say those things were cultural. Having an albino was an abomination. Having twins meant that there was something wrong with you. So there were things that were culturally acceptable and like entrenched in our culture, but they were evil.
In your view, how do you take this judgment by the Supreme Court?
On the basis of equity, I think what the Supreme Court has done justifies the rule of equity, which is fairness to all.
Right.
Does it also offend good conscience? I think it offends good conscience. So my own take here is that the Supreme Court have done wonderfully well by the pronouncement they have made concerning the right of father to inherit the property or the estate of the father, because Nigerian law does not discriminate about sex or whatever.
All right, let me...
But the jurisprudence of the Igbo man, the jurisprudence of the Igbo man is that a woman should stay in the husband's house and inherit everything.
if you don't marry,
That is in the house. Why a man should be in his own father's house? He's not going anywhere. So he's not going to struggle for property elsewhere. He's concentrating on the father's property. So that's just my take on this.
All right.
I'm happy that, because I wanted to ask him a question actually. What if the because he is saying that at least the women would have to share the properties from their husband's place. What if some of the girls refuse to marry or no husband came for them? What happens to them? And I know that in that culture, most times, if they are not married, one of them or two can be asked to stay in the family home. I've forgotten the name they call it in Igbo. Stay in the family home, bring men to get you pregnant, so that you can continue the lineage of your father for you to be able to have something.
Mr. Malaka Gumadu, thank you for joining us.
This is a law report indicating that the judgment was in 2014. The matter actually commenced at the trial court, that is the High Court, in 2004, progressed to the Court of Appeal, and eventually the Supreme Court had the opportunity to pronounce on it. My take generally is that it's a wonderful judgment, one that has finally settled and put to rest some of the vestiges of our cultural inadequacies, if you like. And for me, it's a bit particular because it borders strictly on an aspect, a fundamental aspect of humanity, talking about the right against discrimination, which is guaranteed under Section 42 of the 1999 Constitution as amended.
Mr. Malachi.
Cultural practice that infringes on the fundamental rights of any Nigerian citizen is bound to crash.